YouTube in, and then we'll get started. All right, it says we live. All right, we'll be right back.
VENJAHS, come on. Welcome to advanced placement, straight out the basement. Disruption, the culture and art for pavement. Set the pace, we set in place for containment. Great times, take times, assess arrangements. We free like bass on the ghetto street pavement. Positively reaching past the uprock when I'm preaching. Trans, break a chance, take a seeking. I'm fifth element, remnant speaking. Still shocker, slinging, digging, defending. Leaving, teaching, the action applied. Motivate through vocal expression, past survive. In succession, maroon gon' press them till they die. Negative intentions ain't impressing most high. I pop lock, leave impressions free to fly. Face to face, taste this great apple pie. No, I'm the reason why B-boys and girls turn to gods and goddesses, levitating the world. Optimistic optologists running seashores and realms, training, elevating these masters at their helms, breeding word wizards. We giving wisdom like pearls. Garvey whirlwind came to winning the swirl. Bend your vision, straighten system lies like curl. I'm spitting on grave of men, making rules to enslave. More like that, more here to blaze and save. RBG protected by my venture enclave. VENJAHS, 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 VENJAHS. Revolutionary black guerrilla gangster, well-armed militant, born illegitimate, delivered from the ignorant, just to end up in the killing fields of the gentlemen who want me to be ignorant and silent. Nigga, but I'm violent, killing shit, annihilate the enemy, dividing the innocent. Do it for the benefit of women and many men who fly all the colors that the ancestors given him. That's the red, black, and green, I'm a guillotine. Cut your head for the bread that I'm finna eat. You lame rappers in the bloody red in the streets trying to repeat what they speak in the industry. I can hold the heat like a firebender. I might offend you with the fact that black love is my agenda. OJ with the black glove and I'm riding with them. They screaming in the background and I can hear them loud and clearer. Pounds of mirror, want the smoke blow out of my face until I see Hanks. African so they can't say that I can't. High vibes to make them vibrate. I might take control, elevate the whole masses of blacks. I can't let them take their soul. I descend from the land they stole. Won't sell it for gold. Or they sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I go. VENJAHS, 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 VENJAHS. Most definitely, we the most potent collectively. Hold the key, lyrically open sesame. My ancestry unlocks stolen legacy. DNA direct stock, golden pedigree. No writer's block, spoken wrote deceptionally. Every word heard after this quote respectfully. Any foe's destiny total jeopardy. Might keep one in the chain. Loaded weaponry. It's a war outside. We about to ride. Take a hand count to see who's down. We about to slide. Unpopular opinions ostracized. We outlaws. This RBG off the rise. It's about to get real. A lot revealed. I would say get ill, but we about to heal. Medicine, music, mumble miles full of pills. From the hospital to the house on the hill. And no kidnapping, trafficking. Children. No trapping that'll get you caged in prison. Liberating the land out of nature living. Homeschooling the youth scrolls of ancient wisdom. If you can hunt, you can hear. Here, take a listen. I hope those in back of the class can see. At the sound of my voice, repeat after me.
Oh, we getting busy, man. Let's take. Shout out to DJ Big Nell.
DJ Big Nell Obuya. B.I.G. Gum.
All right. Peace and Black African Power. Welcome back to Warrior Scholar. I am your host, Kofi Piesie. We have a great lineup today. I'm very excited about this interview. We have the mighty supergroup, the VENJAH'S. Could you all individually introduce yourself briefly for those who may not know who you are?
My name's Sun Da GR8, the hard guy correspondent, Sundiata Mansa Musa Brown, one of the founding members of the VENJAH'S, this collective supergroup, my brothers, for over 30 years, you know what I mean? And I'm just happy to be here on Warrior Scholar. Salute to you, Kofi. Thank you very much.
I speak up, yo. I'm Moon, Xkorpious Re all day. Mr. Mirage, Philly, Chicago, ATL, worldwide. VENJAH'S, salute. Knowledge, wisdom, overstanding. We do this.
I'm Anray 360. I'm Anray 360, also known as Anray the God, the natural rule. All music for my people is what I live, breathe, and sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm honored to be one of the collective of this mighty, group right here. You know what I'm saying? The VENJAH'S. It started out, as three of us talking on a road trip, going to Arkansas to represent in the RBG festival down there, and it grew into something that I never imagined, and it's crazy what we got together right now. Salute to my brothers, the VENJAH'S.
Salute.
Nubian Bear for burn. You know what I mean? VENJAH'S all day. Representing for me and myself and my brothers. You know what I'm saying? It's a power movement. Yes, sir.
Ashe.
Yo, what's up? It's Mike Chambers. You know what I mean? Remember the VENJAH'S, Outlaw RPG, Team RPG. Yo, I don't have, you know what I'm saying? I don't have too much to say, man. Mike Chambers, though. Just glad to be here with the brothers. You feel me?
Hello.
No doubt.
Salute. It's your boy, Big Nail Obuya, DJ, producer, rapper, author, representing New Africa, Outlaw RBG original. Salute.
All right.
Salute.
All right.
Hello, King.
Salute.
Again, man, I appreciate y'all, man, for taking some of your time out, man, to hop on this platform, man. I first before we get into whatever I got going on, man. I just want to say, man, I'm a big fan, man. I'm a big fan. I'm a big supporter. I just recently, maybe in the last I'm gonna say the last month and a half, got familiar with y'all through Sun Da Great and Mike Chamber, man. So I appreciate, man, the great work, man, that y'all are putting out, man. The work is much needed. You know what I'm saying? It has a positive message. It has substance behind it, man. It has an empowering message as well as an inspiring message, man. So salute to you all, brothers, man, for putting together, man, those 3 projects that we're gonna talk about here in a few minutes, man. But before we get into the interview, let me break down what a warrior is, what a scholar is, and what my perspective of what a warrior scholar is. So a warrior, simple definitions: a warrior, a soldier, a combative, one who wages war. A warrior, person who engaged or experienced in warfare. Broadly, a person engaged in some struggle or conflict. A scholar is one who attends make this bigger so I'm blind. A person who attends a school or study under a teacher, pulpit, a person who has done advanced studies in special fields, a learned person, a holder of scholarship, a scholar, a person who study a subject a great deal, especially at a university. My perspective of what a warrior scholar is, when we combine both of the words, or a warrior scholar is someone who is well studied and waging war against mistruths, pseudoisms, and willing to stand on the battlefield against mistruths, against institutions and platforms that promote that. A warrior scholar is someone who is on a mission for the truth, for accurate and sound information. A warrior scholar is one who is disciplined. good characters, morals, and willing to fight back against those who use misinformation dangerously. And these brothers on the panel today are definitely warrior scholars who are on the battlefield to liberate the minds of our people. So this is the Warrior Scholar Show. So since this is the Warrior Scholar Show, what is or can you guys name some of your warrior scholars? Who are some of y'all warrior scholars who influence you on your journey?
Let's start with Anray. Anray, you start off.
Shoot, when you say warrior scholars influencing us, you mean as far as master teachers? You mean hip hop artists? What you mean?
The master teachers, hip hop artists, those who is because see a lot of you and that question is because if you listen to a lot of your music, I'm trying to understand who are some of y'all master teachers, who influence you, who are some of the books who influence you, who are some of the scholars who influence you, who are some of the elders who influence you.
Well, I always will say that since my early 20s, very early 20s, when I was in the military, um, I ran across Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? I ran across his book, and then shortly after, I read his book, the movie came out. But the book, reading that book in the military, I was in the most racist institution in the military. I was in the Navy, and I never encountered racism like head on like I did in there. I was, being racially discriminated against by people, opposite of our race, of course. And then on top of that, the people that were above us that were supposed to keep everything in check, you know what I mean? That we would tell so they can get this straightened out. They were white as well. You know what I mean? So it was basically telling the enemy on the enemy. So when I ran across the Malcolm X book, that book just it aligned me perfectly for this path that I'm on now. Fanning. I read a book by him uh, called "Wretched of the Earth." That was incredible. Um, sheesh, we can never forget Marcus Garvey. I read the book of Elijah Muhammad, Message to the Black Man. I read Catch a Fire by Bob Marley, the autobiography by Bob Marley. It's so many master teachers that I learned from books like by Anthony Browder, The Browder Files, Survival Strategies, Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization. I can go on and on. Baba and Mwalimu Barudi, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite elders in the community out here and authors right here in Atlanta. Um, KRS-One as far as hip hop. Chuck D, of course, Public Enemy, Poor Righteous Teachers, Wise Intelligent in them. I can go on and on because I know everybody else got something to say too, but it was so many people that influenced me and that helped me get on the path. Of course, the guy Rakim, you know what I'm saying, Tupac, you know, what I mean, some of the people that really influenced me and made me want to polish up my skills, get on my quest for more knowledge so I can make sure whatever I'm bringing to the people is right and exact and empowering as well as inspiring.
Yes, sir.
All right, all
Nubian.
right. What's
Nubian,
up?
go ahead, man.
Um, like Andre said with the Malcolm X, my pops made me read that at like 9 years old. I was just cutting up in school. He was like, "Yo, sit your ass down and read this." So when I read that, that started it. So from there on to Dr. York, um, my brothers, of course. I bore witness to a lot of knowledge that Sundi had, so he put me on the path of things. Yeah, just being around, right? Anray, the group, the squad. You know what I mean? I definitely gotta say big up and show enough respect to the elements that are around me at the present, as well as the books from the past. You know what I mean? My birthday is on the same day as Huey P. So yeah, it's in the blood, kid. It's in the blood. You already
Yes,
know.
sir. Yes, sir. Big Xkorpious.
Well, Anray, Malcolm, man, coming out of high school, man, reading Malcolm X's notes on African American history and some of his transcribed lectures. It really defined warrior scholar for real for me, and it just took me to a new horizon of embracing the identity of a human being under pressure, that came in the form of the black man, and graduating with X Clan. You know what I'm saying? X Clan,
Mm.
big influence, and because
Forgot them. Damn.
some of the lyrics of Brother J, it took me 15 years to even understand what he had meant when he said things like, I'm more into the ibis because a simple mother goose can never hang with the word. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yes.
so there was so many things coming down that. Of course, we got to speak on the master teacher Amanubi Ruach Patah, also known as Imam Isa Al Hadi Al Makti,
All
Dr. York,
right.
because oftentimes in the culture, because of the controversy surrounding his case, um, I feel like he the elephant in the room. Like so many people read them books. You know what I'm saying? And
Word.
amongst our scholars that talked all that talk about having schools, having land, having our own cooperative economic foundation, having our own language. Baba did it, man. Baba had the 400 acres of land, built the cities, had schools all over the world. So, like, I mean, that's to me, that's the warrior scholarist thing. When a stranger can drive past your land and be like, whoa, they don't even know who you is, but your manifestation is so powerful. And then there's so many. Dr. Jewel Pookrum, Francis Cress Wilson, gotta big up the mamas, you know what I'm saying? Even going into levels with like Nina Simone, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Ella Fitzgerald, you know what I'm saying? These are our sisters who are warrior scholars. And yeah, man, Dr. Delbert Blair. That's the last one. Dr. Delbert Blair, man. Oh my
Mm.
gosh. Warrior scholar, natural mystic, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave with Bobby Hemmett. Y'all know where we going, man. Mind over matter. The material world is secondary. We as God beings are primary, man.
Mm.
Speak.
Who that Nell? Big Nell, you going next?
Yeah. I go. It's a lot of the folks that I look at, what I mean, been mentioned already, what I'm saying? So a lot of that's there. But I come from a little bit of different background too, man, because like when I came up, I came up around the gang shit, and it was like for me, I read a lot of what Larry Hoover was talking about and Jeff Fort and all that. And it's wild because it wasn't until later where I learned about Fred Hampton, what I'm saying, and what he was doing in Chicago. So a lot of that really influences my mentality. And then, I chopped it up with Mutulu Shakur, in the Republic of New Africa. What I'm saying, Chokwe Lumumba, chopped it up with the Baba, rest in peace, and his son, what I'm saying? So a lot of mine came more from the grassroots, and then a lot of that stuff that we were reading was what helped me to get my political education on. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it's just wild because a lot of mine also is street elemental too. Like I look a lot at Donald Goins. You know what I'm saying? I think about what Donald Goins was talking
Mm.
about. That's a connection to the streets. Like he really understood the heart of the streets and how like the movement was sort of peripheral to the streets. So for me, I'm trying to find ways to connect that. You know what I'm saying? So, and also as a martial artist, a lot of that kind of influences my perspective too. You know what I mean? Like just the arts and the discipline from that, the self defense aspect. You know what I mean? And all that too. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it short though. I'll land it.
All right.
Mike, go ahead, Mike.
Um, yeah, like everybody say, it's always obvious with our Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Just because, once again, coming from a time where the black man was not perceived intelligent, he was very intelligent. Not even to call him educated, but just the things he learned on his own, just that discipline. So of course that was the eye opener. Um, Then just various, uh, oh man, from the metaphysics, like a moon said, from the Bobby Hemmets to the Delbert Blairs, definitely the Marcus Garveys, you know what I mean, from the Pan African movement. Um, Man, you had some Noble Drew Ali's, you got some Circle Sevens, you got some whoo, man, some everything. Not to mention, once again, people around me have been very influential. As I've always stated, coming down here, listening to WRFG 89.3, a real community radio station, I had an opportunity of hearing walks of life, information, lessons from all walks of life. Also, as Brother of Moon was saying, in 1986, I think, I moved to the Fourth Ward, right off Jackson Street in Atlanta, where a lot of people like to go to the bridge and take that picture. Right beside that entrance to the apartments I lived in, Dr. York had an apartment building
Mm.
for his people. You understand what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I grew up going downtown to Five Point, buying books from the Nubians. I might go down to the flea market at 5 Points, and they had all information. Um, I remember first time a brother took me to this house off of MLK, Charles Former L. Put on his fez, stood behind the platform. This 93, he introduced me to the Morrisons. Um, Man, my roster families, you feel me? Big up,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? Jaiva, you know what I'm saying? Princess, Jeanette, they mom's Makita. You feel me? They hooked me up with the rosters. Man, the EWF, the Ethiopian World Federation. You know what I mean? My
Mm.
big, my big
Okay.
brother, my big brother Malik Kalam.
Salud.
Salud.
Yo, bro, when I just hearing his radio station back in the day, bro. He
Mm-hmm.
had you feel me? He was the plug, like anything Afrocentric, he was on it. And just from the time of the 90s, feel me? Like I said, them early 90s was came a burst of information from the Illuminati to everything. You know what I'm saying? The Jordan Maxwell, the David
Mm-hmm.
Ikes,
Mm-hmm.
uh, man, the Credo Mutwas, just whatever was out there, man. I was trying to learn as much as I could. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I was
Yes,
I
sir.
was just trying to get it all back then, man.
I'm I'm gonna jump in and say, first off and foremost, my father, Sam Brown Jr., Samuel Brown Jr., he, yeah, man, and my mother, Judy, Judy Ann Johnson at the time, you know what I mean, before they got married, but Judy Lee, they gave me the name that forced me to say, hey, you, you may be over here, but you from over there, and from there, like the brothers saying, my brothers who was around me, but in the past, people like uh, my brother Tiger Maurice Lee, my people like
Tiger.
yeah, people, you know what I'm saying, people like my brother Biz Bronze, word to Biz,
Word to
brother
biz.
Malik Kalam, um, also dealing with my brother Moon. Man, you see, I've been knowing the Moon, my brother Xkorpious for that long time, and you know what I'm saying, and he's shared with me and grown, and we've had those conversations about X Clan, together. But coming out of Pennsylvania area, my brother Spread Love, um, constantly giving, going back and forth with information, and meeting him at brother Dell and Deke Jones bookstore on 52nd Street. and building with both of those icons, Kwame Ture doing and Ivan Van Sertima, Ramona Africa, doing security for them, and literally having full-fledged convos and getting it directly from them. Of course, Tupac, the whole Outlaw RBG family, which I am part. I didn't tell you all that. And Team RBG, shout out to Outlaw RBG and Team RBG, and Gumbo, and also like I said, Kwame Ture. But let me not forget this, because this is very important. When I was in Reading, listening to tapes that I would get from Philadelphia, one of the groups, the Unknown Brothers, and one of the brothers, Steve Coakley. Steve Coakley was very
Yeah,
prominent in
yeah, man.
my vocal dexterity and my ability to say, I don't really give a good flying F about, you know what I mean, what you think. I got to tell you what it is. You know what I mean? And shout out to Steve Coakley. Shout out to Steve Coakley Jr., the second in Ghana right now doing his thing. But of course, Malcolm X, of course, Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass, because he was Aquarius, and that was one of the aspects of me hearing he whooped his slave master. Like he whooped the slave master, and he lived through that. Where? Oh yeah, you know what I mean. So making sure that fight, Denmark VC, Peter Poya, just as aspects of what revolution and revolt and people who, you know what I mean, put it together. Nat Turner, Zumbi out of Brazil, you know what I mean, just to name a few that just really touched me. And all my brothers here, I personally listened to the VENJAH'S album, and I listened to all of their music to get me through the mess we going through for the last 20 years and right now, you know what I mean, in real time. You know what I mean? So, and the same thing goes for all my brothers and sisters in Team RBG. You know what I mean? The music is my method. Shout out to Don Don too from Genius Level Radio, because I be listening to his music, and you know what I mean, before, you know what I mean, we got the VENJAH'S Radio, and as we got VENJAH'S Radio as well. You know what I mean? And gave me kind of hope that, you know what I mean, things ain't gonna really fall apart like that. This music is out there. Chuck D is my daddy, lyrically. Brother J is my big brother, even though we kind of the same age, you know what I'm saying? And of course, Rock M, those three, subconsciously, I have patterned who I am as a lyricist around that. You know what I mean? And as long as I can get one of them, cool. Shout out to Killer Priest, who's also an honorary member of the VENJAH'S. And shout out to Big Yo, who's also a member of the VENJAH'S on the front and in the back end. Shout out to Red Fidel, who I think is trying to get on here, but you know what I mean. And shout out to Nine Moles, the Shaman. Shout out to Mega Black, and shout out to Kentex, God of Quam, and Nick Nines. You know what I'm saying? All these brothers and VENJAH'S. Shout out also to Ema X, and you know, that's basically what it is. Shout out to my wife as well for being a backbone and supporting through all of what we do. You know what I mean? And also KNS for all the support they have showed in the past as well. Shout out to Rebel too. Yeah.
Yo,
RBG,
that's the
what's
clothing
up? What's
line dude,
good?
right?
Say again?
That's the clothing dude, right? Where we shot the video at?
Yeah.
Okay. Salute to the God.
Rebel,
Word.
when you see that mask in the videos, you see the mask and the person wear, you know what I'm saying? That red, black, and green mask, that's our brother Rebel, who you mean always there, you know what I mean, helping us out and doing what he's doing. And shout out to DJ Tie Stick, the one arm assassin, who was there for the first two albums as well. You know what I'm saying? And pushing from Fleet DJs. Yeah, there we go. There we have it. Are you on silent, brother, Kofi?
My bad.
No, we went for a minute. We went for a minute there.
Yeah, y'all did. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I'm not friends with Red Fidel, but I just went to his YouTube page. I also put the link in his Facebook messages. I don't know if he'll see it or not or whatever, but hopefully the brother be able to get on. But let's break down the phrase supergroup. The word group implies unity, shared vision, while super derives Latin word above, over, beyond, speaks to excellence. Vengeance is clearly more than a crew, it is a force. How did the powerful collective originally form, and what brought you all together under one banner?
Sun Da GR8.
Yeah,
Word,
Sunni,
definitely Sundi out of the great. Definitely the
yeah.
God.
word. The God did
The
that.
backbone, the skull, the guy who's thinking about vengeance when we not thinking like a super group. He Voltron consists of all the lions. We the lions, but Sundi's the Voltron lion. You know what I'm saying? And even though he won't, I'm saying it the way I'm saying it, cause Sundi wouldn't say it this way. But I always say to my bro that when it comes to managing a group of people, especially brothers at our age group that are already fathers, already husbands, already got hustles and a bunch of creative ideas, to have the audacity to gather us and try to organize us, keep us together, and do stuff together, you gotta be Superman to do this. And man, we're here today. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I gotta give the crown to my big bro because that's what I see. But all of us play our part, no question.
Yes.
Salute to the
Everybody
God
is
on that.
important. Everybody's important. But Sundi got the Vengeance crown on 24/7. He always thinking of a new idea. And as his brother that been his brother for so long, when he feel like he's getting fatigued, I make sure that I'm like, hey, your vision is mad powerful, B. Don't quit now. How you don't get the
Mhm.
touchdown by getting tired on fourth down. You gotta keep pushing and hey,
True.
we here.
True. True.
Facts.
True. True.
Facts. What?
Yeah. I gotta say it like this. I had an album that I was doing called Vintage Season, and because you know, I'm not old, Joe. You know, what I mean, we ain't old. We vintage. You know, we classic. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, we in the season of the vintage people. You know what I mean? And we seen a lot of young brothers passing away. But when my brother Biz passed away, I wanted to make sure that I did music with people who I respected and whose music I love. So as the 360 circle go round, if it wasn't for the fact that their music was so powerful and touched me, and when you know, I mean before we did the album, and when I listened to the music when we were making that trip, myself, Mike, and Anray were making the trip to the massacre and the RBG massacre about 4 years ago. We were listening to each other's music, and it was like an 8 hour ride maybe, and we didn't turn on nobody else's music. We had enough music that we could listen to all our music, and everything was just lyrically so, you know what I mean, full and thick, and listening to Nubian Bear for years with before when we was in a group together called a Lockjaw, and you know what I'm saying, and his music that he was doing and his flavor with Ken Tex, and being in myself, Nubian Bear, Ken Tex was in a group called Lockjaw prior to this from Allentown, PA way, you know what I'm saying, and listening to that, and then knowing Mike through and Big Nell through Malik, and hearing that, and spending the time I spent with a moon and watching a moon do what he do. And real quick, I got to give a moon this shout out real quick. A moon is the reason why all you young folk is woke or on that conscious woke shit. He was on that 30 years ago. Before you was born, what you doing now, he did then, and he did it in Philly during the neo soul era. And so I said to myself, you know what I mean, if these
Mm.
brothers can see a piece of what I see in us, you know what I mean, let's do it. And so when I spoke with Anray, and Anray spoke with me, he had the same vision. He had the same idea. We had been talking about it. Mike had the idea, seen it. We talked about it, and then bringing it to Nubian and bringing it to Kintex and bringing it to Xkorpious and shout out to Registered Black, Black Mega. You know what I'm saying? When I heard the work that they did on my album, and it was like at that point I said, this is a super group. Not just because we got fire lyrics, but because we have producers, Big Yo, Mike Chambers, Nell.
No.
We have people who do graphics. We have different artists, and we just have poets. We have hosts. We have everything you need in a conglomerate. We could run an 8-hour show and not get tired, or even hit all of our music. So to me, it was just making sense at this time, and we were all at an age where we were seasoned. And you know what I mean, when we could come together. Shout out to Nick Nine too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just listening to the music and sitting down and me having conversations with DJ Tastic at the time, it was like, yo, why not do this? You know what I mean? We got to do this, and you know, we needed a name for it, so you know, it just made sense to do that. Come up with it. You know what I mean? But we are a collective that, you know what I mean, like when you hear the word group, you get a certain idea about what a group is, but we're not in the box of a regular group. We don't, you know what I mean, follow that. You gotta, we do what the ancestors empower us to do and say. So when I was thinking about whatever I was thinking, the ancestors said, yo, you know, you got this right here, and this is gonna be a powerful situation when you all come together and just do what you already do. So if it wasn't for the talent, the skill, the substance, the energy, the everything I know about my brothers right here, if it wasn't for that, you know what I mean, I wouldn't have no spark, no to open up to see the vision and bring it in. So as much as maybe I have a vision, it was the vision that their art and their talent and their skills and their substance gave to me.
No doubt, no doubt.
Salute.
Hey son, stop being modest, man. You know what I mean?
Look.
You know, look, I'm just trying to be honest, man. Like Amun said, you know, you put this thing together, and when you brought it to our, you know, matter of fact, going back to the trip in the car with me, you, and Mike, and we listened for 8 hours going down and 8 hours going back, and still didn't hit all of our music. And and I seen it. I was looking at it on a small scale. I was like, yeah, you know, we should do some songs together, do a couple tracks, let's collab, because I was really feeling the vibe. But you seen a much bigger picture than what I was seeing. I just seen us doing some music together here and there, and you know, on each other's albums. But you seen the super group, and you know, in that car ride, I got to hear Mike Chambers, who I never heard before, and I was blown away. I got to hear some of Nell's stuff. I'm like, who is this? And you telling me who everybody is. I got to hear Nubian Bear. You know, of course, I knew Amun for many years, and me and him in Philly. You know, I was in one of his videos called Lost that he did, and Amun, like you said, he'd been on this long before anybody else. When I was still on the street stuff, you know what I mean? I was pro-black, but I was still street. You know what I mean? I was in the hood, so I wasn't on the God body and the knowledge and straight warrior rebel. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah, this was we owe the vengeance to you, Sundiata. So we're gonna give you your flowers and your
Word.
wife who
Word.
supported as well, big time.
Word. Word.
Hey, I'll take all machetes and chop off the devil's head. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
go.
All right. From the beginning, the red mixtape to the Black Nine mixtape, and now the Green album. How do you all reflect on your collective work so far, and what do these bodies of work represents in terms of legacy and message?
Mm, mm. That's a good question, brother Kofi. Brother Kofi be having them questions, bro. You know what I'm saying? Somebody want to hit that?
Who want that?
I'll tag on it, and 1,000 pardons if I black out because my phone is on low and I'm on the road. So I'm traveling through Delaware, and I don't know how good the receptivity is. So I'm just diving in, hoping that y'all can get me before my phone black out. Um, you know, the Red album. I mean, the Red is for the blood. Like, let's get it started, right? Like who? What are we doing? What are we about? What are we passionate about saying? Them, we all know what it's like to perform in front of an audience where your concentrated passion and your purpose might be just a little bit too potent for the audience. So, who can I say this in front of? Who can I share this message with? I feel like the Red album was kind of like the breakthrough, the first joint. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Word.
get your, as some of my brothers used to say, when you spitting rhymes, he'd be like, yeah, spit blood, God, spit blood. You know what I mean? So I feel like the Red
Mm.
album was like us spitting the blood, but also spitting our heart, man. Then I think the Black album, I wasn't on the Black album, but I feel like I was in the Black album
Right.
because
You
the
The
energy
was.
that my
Black
brothers
Album was the
continued to
divinity.
express, even though I wasn't active on the mic, I was very much active in the presence of the ball is now rolling. And the blackness is the bigger picture, not just who we are as MCs expressing ourselves, but what it means to be doing this at festivals, what it means to have these songs played in houses in front of children. On the Black album, I feel like more of our elders in the communities of Atlanta, of Charlotte, of Tallahassee, of New Orleans, more people got to know the VENJAH'S as the Black album was present. Then the Green album, that's the album that has the most original beats on it. I feel like it has the most refined work on it. That's the album where Big Nell is in the building spitting beautiful verses. So the Green album is like, the phases of any agricultural movement. The Green album, you see the plants, the seeds are planted, the rain has come down,
Photosynthesis.
the sunshine has happened, the night, which in the night,
Yeah, nigga.
the Black album is the starlight. The
That's
blackness
that
of the night.
divinity.
It's very important for the plants to grow. The plants grow in the night. So in the new day, you go out in your front yard and all of a sudden you see all the spuds budding. You see the dandelions. So the Green album to me is the coming of the fruit of VENJAH'S growing up. And when you hear songs like God Is and you hear songs like Sankofa, you hear a different level of completion. So yeah, red, black, and green. And we got some gold coming too. So, stay tuned.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, 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 yeah. Uh,
Okay.
Shout out to Nick Nas because it was Nick Nas' idea to do it. We originally were going to give you just 30, 40 songs. And
Yeah.
Nick Nas said, well, why don't we break that up and give it a red, black, and green situation? So shout out to Nick Nas for that
My
idea.
man.
Word. Salute to the God on that. What?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
indeed.
And,
I,
and I wish Ken Tex was here, would have been able to make it because he was a very integral part of getting those first two albums done. You know what I'm saying? And his flavor is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
I
And,
tagged
and
him too.
one thing about everybody here got their own flavor, and we were not in competition with each other. We were in completion with each other. This was about making something happen and
we
showing
gonna
at a
talk about
time.
that. We gonna talk about that, son.
Oh, okay, my fault, my fault, my fault, my
We go
fault. I got
we
I
go
got excited. I got
yeah,
excited. Let me
we go
calm down.
yeah, we go talk about that. But I like how Amun
Yeah,
broke down all three of those albums, the two mixtapes, and then the full album, the Green album, which is one of my favorites, man. There's a lot of bangers on all of them, man, but the Green is definitely I guess it's my favorite because it has all of the original, music beats, per se, on there, man. Anybody else, man, what the have anybody else reflected on the body of work, and if you have, what are your thoughts on after reflecting on uh the three bodies of work that y'all put out, which y'all put out like I see y'all put the red blackout in 1 year, 2023, and then I'll see 2024, y'all put out the green apple, man. So, if y'all
All
had
right.
time to reflect on it, you know what I'm saying? What are some of your thoughts after, sitting with the music for a while and even, the positive feedback or the feedback in general, man. How did y'all accept it?
All right. So if I may, um, like I used to tell them then, once once they were all completed, and you know what I'm saying, even just the red and black, I used to be like, yo, y'all need to listen to it, listen to all of them just back to back, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But and if you listen back to back, especially the first two, you will hear the presence of Sun Da Great and Anray 360. They were a driving force of the projects. Um, one of the reasons why they on damn near every song is because the songs had to be completed, right? And I'm more uh, of a craftsman. You feel me? I could go off the top sometime, whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm versatile, but we be in the studio and the deadline be upon us. And Son and Andre just like, all right, man, shit. I got a verse for this. 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 I'm like, man, I got some verses, but I could have something a little better. But just the reflection of listening to all of the songs nonstop, not just the red by itself, the black, but if you play all of them, that shit is hard. You know what I mean? It
Mm-hmm.
is some of the diverse, most diverse, profound lyricism I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Everybody came from their own place, and we all came from different places, and we met up as VENJAH'S. But just coming from them walks of life and encompassing all that knowledge and information and being able to present it. And the purpose of that was, once again, excuse me, as Amun said, we were all fathers. You feel me? Some of us grandfathers. We all had life and was dealing with life and still got life and dealing with life. So to come together and put that music together, we was doing that hoping to leave a legacy of balance because we were seeing how the music and the things was misleading the youth. I was included. And we just wanted the music to bring a balance to this destruction and this madness and also present it in an artful manner. And being at the age we are, knowing we have the information to share. Why is it rap is the only music that they got to, you feel me? You got an age limit. Not taking nothing from the youth, but we still had a lot to offer, a lot of
Right.
creativity, just a lot of energy itself. We come look, we the creators of this shit. We the
Mm-hmm.
first generations. You understand what I'm saying? We was
True.
there when it was nothing, or when they thought it was nothing, when it was all we had.
Right.
So to bring that and to be able to still bring forward that understanding and acknowledge, we had to make this music at this time, right now, because it was needed.
Mm-hmm.
Not taking nothing from some of the elders, and I might not need to use that word, brother Kofi, because you call them the oldest. So some of the oldest who still make this music and they ain't got nothing to say. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care if they was out 20, 30 years ago. Because some of the ones who was out 20, 30 years ago, who making hits, who coming out now, performing the hits, man, that's that poison that got us where we at right now.
Truth.
Fact, fact.
That's right, god damn it.
You know what I mean? So nah, we couldn't be this age still coming out making that poison. Like you said, you asked who some of our influences were. We couldn't have read the books we read and obtain that knowledge and then write a rhyme and it not reflect that.
Yeah.
True.
You can't reverse that. Once you in the knowing, you can't reverse that. There's no going back after that. I don't care how much you fight. It's no going back, man.
Nah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I hear the music, that's what I hear.
Okay.
All of our knowledge combined.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
therapy.
Yes,
For
sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
real.
yes. Damn, you hit that right on the nose.
It's the
Yeah.
same frequency. And
Yeah.
we all come from different walks of life. It's amazing how we are all on the same frequency, and that's what drives this whole fucking movement, I think. That's what I feel. Despite the everyday mundane shit that we go through, disagreements, the core of it, we are all on the same frequency. And I love my
Hmm.
brothers for that. And
Facts.
it's no fucking stopping, nigga. It's this motherfucker right here, right now. That's what it
True.
is. Period.
Yeah.
What about what about you, Big Neil? Man, what's your thoughts on it, man, after sitting with the body of work and reflecting on it, man? What's your thoughts on it?
You know, I reflect similarly to my brothers, man, when it comes to like the legacy of the music. And I feel like, you know, what we do is deeper than just the rap. You know what I mean? It's
Facts.
like we're providing propaganda for an actual movement. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like some of us are actually aligned to movements that are built around Black liberation and are built around moving us forward as a people. And I mean, all of us really are. We all affiliated in some form or fashion when it comes to that. That's why all of our consciousness, being unique consciousness, coming together makes such a great monster mash. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us come from certain realms where certain things are prioritized. So you hear that in the music, and I think that that's just a beautiful reflection of our liberation movement. You know what I mean? As we still form our thoughts around what Black liberation is, who we are as a people. You know what I mean, and what liberation looks like for us. We rap about this shit. You know what I'm saying? We rap about the red, black, and green and what it means. We rap about God is goddess. You know what I mean? And being able to go through all of our streams of consciousness from the red to the black to the green, all of that stuff reflects who we are in hip hop. This whole concept of I am hip hop. You know what I mean? This movement, this music, this hip hop, you know what I'm saying? We're taking this as propaganda. So when people listen, this is like you can hear this music 20 years from now and it still be dope vintage music. You know what I'm saying? You can hear this music. Somebody can take this into the past and be like, man, these brothers are ahead of their time. You know what I mean? And that's part of the reason why we doing what we do because we all are ahead of our time. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff I talk about in my music, I was talking about that for a while, and I hear people talking about it now. I'm like, well, damn. You know what I mean? Like I did a song like that about this and that in '06, and here it is 2025, and oh boy, dropping a song similar. It's just like it just
You
shows you
rap
that
about your old life.
you know what I mean. But it ain't even that. It's just the liberation consciousness is still there. You know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So from what we get from our ancestors, when we do our when we do our libations for the ancestors and we call them forth and they give us that energy, we still giving that energy back out to the folks following us. You know what I'm saying? So this music that we making is a reflection of that.
No doubt.
Truth.
No
That is
doubt.
truth.
Oh, okay. All right.
What they say.
a col- a collaboration is key in many musical units. Have some or all of your records uh been in the studio together? And if so, walk us through the creative process, the writing process, and how you feel or how you feed off of each other in real time.
Oh, I'll address this real quick. No. Yeah. Matter of fact, when we all get together, it's on stage. And that's why some of the energy on that stage is so powerful. We have times where we have a group of us together, you know what I mean? It might be 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 at one time. But we never were at one particular time, all of us in the studio. But we
We
have
need to
been
change
around
that
each
though.
other.
You need to change
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's gonna change. You know what I'm saying? But we have been around each other doing what MCs doing, what artists, motivation, vocal expression artists do. We listen and we going through each other's rhymes and listening to it so much and just lived with each other. We've literally lived around with whatever, you know what I'm saying, each other so much that, you know what I mean, we understood where we were coming from, and we knew that we had the esoteric and the exoteric put together in his combination, like the right and the left hemisphere of the brain. So you know what I mean. We are always around each other, even when we're not. Uh, but we were sharing the music and sharing the ideas, and we would have constant. We would have weekly calls. You know what I mean? Constant calls. So we were talking to each other and getting our ideas. But literally in the studio, that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like that. But you know what I mean? Somebody, Anray, holler at them about you know mean the process, man. Holler about the process.
Shoot, I think Mike Chambers is probably more, the one to holler about the process. Me, I just, you know, I hear a beat and y'all give me an idea and I just try to, write to the idea or whatever. But the music that the beat, the beat has to speak to me. You know what I mean? There's been beats that I couldn't even, imagine myself rhyming on because I'm a melody dude. I come from that era of Earth, Wind and Fire and that real soulful stuff. So I gotta feel the beat. I gotta feel that stuff touch me in my core. And Son be picking out some weird beats, y'all. Some be picking up. They be crazy fire though. Once I hear him spit on it, I'm like, damn, I ain't never think. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. Then I can come on this now. You know what I mean? So I feed off my brothers. Like when I gave a shout out to all, the people who inspired me earlier. I didn't mention my brothers, man. Y'all inspired me so much. I heard Mike, on Better Change on the first album we did. When Mike, the angle that he took on that, I was just like, wow. And I was just like, we better change. You know what I'm saying? Because I was still on some never change. But Mike
Yeah.
said, nah, let's do better change. And I was just like, damn. And when I heard his verse, it just sent me into a frenzy. You know what I mean? And so the creative process is we feed off of each other, but we also pull down from the ethers. We pull down
Yeah.
from our ancestors, as above, so below. So we giving you all that, and that's the creative process. We using the elements. You know what I mean? You're gonna get that fire. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get that flow, that water. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get the wind. We talking with the breath. We using the breath of life. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna get that earth because we gonna put you in the earth if you come the wrong way, you know what I'm saying, lyrically with us
Body bag.
or against our people, man. And it's man, if you spitting that poison like Mike Chambers was saying earlier, we got old heads spitting poison. Yo, you know better. You got kids, you got nephews, nieces that's coming up in this stuff. How can you put that poison out to them into the environment that they growing up in? You know what I mean? So it was very important for us. That was part of the process also, knowing how we was going to come, in the midst of this sick society that we live in, this anti-black society that we live in, this anti-life society and system that we live in. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring the life. We're gonna bring all the elements, including the ether.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I like how you broke that down. Okay, okay. All right. With such a diverse group of lyricists and affiliates, Big Nail, Mike Chambers, Son the Great, Nine Miles, the Shaman, Anray 360, Nubian Bear, Xkorpious Re, Big Yo, King Shaka, Red Fidel, Kintex, and the honorable member Killer Priest, and more. how do you all maintain balance and a cohesive while still allowing each MC to shine in their own light?
I don't even think it
And
was a question for us. Go ahead.
no,
Yeah,
I just want to say one thing about that because I think that's an important question, man. Like I do feel like this music got kind of made how brothers make, you know what I mean, how brothers make art together, how brothers make projects together, you know what I'm saying? It's some heads be getting rocked sometimes, you know what I mean? It's some people be getting a little frustrated. It's some, you know, because it's music, we all take this shit personal, you know what I mean? So we all want this shit to be dope, and I feel like sometimes it brings the best. It can't bring the worst, but you know, if I'm being honest, man, like when you get on a track with somebody and you get on the stage with them, you perform some music with some folks, man. That shit is just like it's like you performing rituals. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole
True.
it's magic. You dig?
True.
So you know,
Facts.
at the end of the day, for me, man, I feel like I feel like it's just magic, man. It flows like you know, Jungle Brothers making magic. We just that's probably a song too, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Evans,
right,
bro.
Like,
right. I
Right.
agree. I agree with you, Big Nell. You know, when we in the booth, we create music. You know what I'm saying? That's or should I say magic? You know what I'm saying? But when we get on the stage, it's a whole nother level because the energies are like like back in the day when they had the grassroots movement. The grassroots movement was so powerful because people was coming together in person. You know what I'm saying? They was feeling each other's energy. You know, you read people's body language and stuff like that. And when you see yo, I don't know if you ever seen Big Nell perform and start shaking his dreads, or should I say, shaking his locks. You know what I'm saying? And the energy that comes from that, what he's doing is like it's a lion up there with locks, going, just going ham, and you feel that energy now. You know you got it. When it's your turn to get on that mic, you better move the crowd too. You better shake that stage too. You know what I'm saying? And Sun, he's swinging swords. You know what I'm saying? Lyrical swords, let alone actual swords and the whole nine. So give him some space so you don't get cut.
Taking the
You
stage.
know, give him some space. But everybody brings it, man. I love performing with Nubian. Like they said, Kintex, incredible, incredible. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, Mike Chambers. You know what I'm saying? We had so much respect for each other that it was easy to bring about balance because we fans of each other's music. We fans of each other lyrically, what we are in the community, and who we are as individuals as well as collectively. So we couldn't help it. The balance couldn't help but be there.
Yeah.
The collective of
And
inmates and MCs, you bitches.
yeah, yeah. You know the saying. Like when you're at practice, whether it's sports or you mean even in the old gladiator situation, they didn't get good by just looking in the mirror or practicing. They had to hit each other. They had to they had to really bang back and forth, and that we sharpen each other's swords, steel sharpen steel. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what it was. And everybody wasn't in competition with each other, but nobody was gonna be the whack one on the track. You know what I mean? Nobody. So and it also we also didn't stop each other from ideas. We didn't stop each other, be like, I don't know about that. No, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, well, let's see what it sounds like. Now we did if somebody did it, you know what I mean, and we all like listened to it, maybe we should do something else. But we gave the opportunity to each other, so it wasn't a confined situation. We had the entire universe to do what it was we needed to do. And
Yeah.
it was going to get done. You know what I mean? It's purpose. You know what I mean? And what for me, if you know me, if I say something got to get done, and I say I'll put it on my back and do it, it's going to get done. I'm gonna do that. But I just know that everybody drove everybody to make sure that they had, and whoever had that last verse, boy, they was coming with it. You know what I mean? If you listen to them songs, when you listen to them albums, that first verse and that last verse is, you know what I mean, is like okay, but that middle verse ain't just some fluff. They saying it too. So you don't
Hmm.
get a break. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a break in there. And we didn't give ourselves a break, but we did give ourselves space to be creative, and we came in to change the narrative of the track that you heard, whatever on that Red and that Black. They were not original music, you know what I mean? So we're taking other people's music because we felt like if you everybody's concentrated on their music so much, so let's give them music they already know, but let's give them new lyrics. And when we gave them new lyrics and the new hook on that John, it became our song. You
Hmm.
mean you when you go back and listen to, oh Lord, that's right, they did do this other song before that, but that's their song. That belongs to us. When you listen to that Riptide on that Black, that's our song now.
Ooh,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
sir.
When you listen to that
Yes,
Body
Super
Bag,
sir.
body
that
bag.
Body
Yes,
Bag,
sir.
I know 50
But
did it, but that's our song now. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
word,
Yeah, shit. So it just made the room and everything easier when it came to the original music. Like, oh, okay, let's get it popping right here. So yeah.
Yeah. And and the reason why I asked the two questions about the being, the being on the was y'all on the music together, was y'all in the studio together, and then following up with the cohesive and anybody not outshining each other or what, because it didn't for me listening to them. Not only I done sat with them, for a little bit. I even went back last night and sat with all three again, and try to get the peep out everybody's style and where they're coming from, and it just seemed like each one of them, it didn't seem like sometimes, because I'm a music producer too, so and for me, I like if I'm working with somebody, I like working with individuals who are in the studio with me, and I rap too, so if I ain't did it in a while, but if I'm working with somebody, I like to be in the studio with somebody. So, and even with that, just if I'm recording somebody else's stuff, sometimes if they send me pieces of other individuals' verses in the past when I had my big studio, it would still kind of sound like, I'm piecing the music together. Or even listening to somebody else, it seems like I'm piecing the music together. So when you listen to it, you can tell, all right, they weren't in the studio together. And the reason why I'm saying they weren't in the studio together, because sometimes it's not flowing. Each track is not flowing. You got this individual, the song is called this individual is on spot. The other individual is way off topic. This other individual is so far gone. So, but you know, so so yeah, so listening to all three, it just feels like that, y'all was in the studio together. And it feel like every verse wasn't forced, because me sitting back with it, I'm trying to learn each individual style. You know what I'm saying? Each individual style, and everybody had his own personal style. You know what I'm saying? Big Neil didn't sound like Sun Da God. Nubian Bear didn't sound like Anray. Mike Chambers didn't sound like Red Fidel. Kintex, then sound like Xkorpious Re. Everybody had their own individual style, had their own personality. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked that question, man, because all three albums seemed like y'all was in the studio recording the same album. You know what I'm saying?
that's
You know,
dope.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
Thank
I
you.
just
We had
But
all,
that's
and you know what's
that.
Cause
what's
I'm
dope
in
about that too.
PA.
Yeah. We coming from Pennsylvania, Chicago, North Carolina, Florida, uh,
Philly,
um, Philly, you know what I mean, Atlanta. I'm from Reading. You know what I mean? Like we coming from all spots all over. New York with 9 Miles. You know what I'm saying? The Shaman. You mean we coming from a bunch
Nick
of
Nines
different
of
places.
Kentex, New York.
Kintex, New York, yeah, and Nick Nine, New York. You know what I'm saying? And it
But
It's mad boroughs that came together basically and
but
basically,
just
but but
formed a fucking super group. God damn it.
That's why
let
it's
me
a
say
super
this
group,
though.
though. That's why it's a
Let me
super. That's
say
why you
this
got to
though.
call it a super group. You know what I mean? Because it's two,
We
all the flavors, all the styles. Everybody already home, so it's like we've worked with groups before. You know what I mean? We
right.
worked as individuals before. You know what I mean? This ain't our first at bat, so I could get in the studio. I could hear the hook. You know, I'll say, okay, that's the hook. Bang, let me bang out a verse right quick. You know what I mean? Then I'm gonna lay this shit, and then it go in because I heard because I'm listening to the song. You know what I mean? I'm not just coming in with a pre-wrote verse. Oh, I'm gonna just put this verse on it because it's it's a cool verse. I'm just gonna try to outshine
Word,
these niggas.
word,
This ain't none
word.
of that. You know what I mean? Like we making art. We making. That's what I'm saying is you can't make magic without the right recipe. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta say the right words. You gotta have the right spell. You know. So when you put the right words together, that's what makes it be what it be. When you listen to the song, that's when it's like, oh, okay, and I appreciate you sharing, brother. That you know what I mean. It sounds like we all in the studio together because that's really what it's all about.
Word.
You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah.
Like being a super group that should be how it is every time. So I dig that. Salute.
But
Yeah.
but but at the same time too, even though we weren't all in the studio together, the majority of the project was recorded at the same studio. Shout out to Big Yo. You
Big
understand
Yo.
what
Big
I'm saying?
yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo.
So we were in there, but we weren't. You understand what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
all three projects, we chose him specifically for all three. We all went to his studio at different times to lay down our parts. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for the ones who couldn't make it, they would send him the stems. So
And
we weren't
yeah,
together, but we were together.
he mixed and mastered
Always
it.
together.
Yeah,
That's what I was just
Martial
about to
law
say. He mixed
productions.
down everything, didn't he?
Yes, he
yeah.
did.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, I
right.
mean, and he put it, and then he had the nerve to put one of the most fires verses on the whole album. How dare he do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
On
crazy.
two of the
Uh-uh.
albums, he fire.
Mm,
He's
mm.
ridiculous with the lyrics.
Yeah,
You
he's
know what I'm saying?
stupid
I
Right,
on
love
that.
it.
Yeah.
right. He did the graphics. He did the logo for the Vengeance.
Yeah, did the
Mm-hmm.
logo as well.
Oh shit, word. I
Yeah,
didn't
Yeah,
even
Big
know
Yo
that.
did that.
Okay, big
Yeah,
yo. Shout out, God.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
yeah.
No
yeah.
doubt. Okay. Um, man, let's see where I want to go, man. Let me ask this, man. Many say hip hop is the voice of the voiceless. In your eyes, is hip hop a tool for liberation? And if so, how do the Vengers use it to raise the consciousness in the minds of our people?
By the ancestors
Yes.
putting us all together.
It's definitely
Yeah.
it's definitely a tool for
Yes.
liberation, man. It's definitely a tool for
Word up.
liberation, man. Like we create songs that give you the blueprint on how to actually walk this liberation path. You know what I'm saying? We got songs about our ancestors and the people that we look at in history. We got songs about how we conduct ourselves today. We got songs about being warriors. We got songs about being lovers. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we creating the Black Power papers for liberation on in hip hop. You know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt. I definitely can get that from, man, the all three, the two mixtapes as well as the the album, man. You're getting a variety of knowledge. I mean, for me, if I was someone, didn't know anything about Marcus Garvey, or I didn't know anything about the pyramids of Giza. If I didn't know anything about West African culture, or what I like to refer to as Kimoyo, you know what I'm saying? Others refer to it as African spirituality or African tradition or religion. Words I don't use, but that's subject for another day. But yeah, you get listening to those, I definitely would be inspired to go do some research on some of those things. And I think, we need to, figure out a way on how we can push this stuff, man. I know we don't like the mainstream, but we need to figure out a way on how we can capitalize on that, where we able to get as many streams or get on many platforms or on TV as much as possible to push, the message through the music, right? Because that's one form. When you look at African culture, you know what I'm saying, a griot. I refer to myself as a modern day griot. So our ancestors who were griot, who were created griots or griotes, griot or Jali in West Africa, you know, there were many forms of liberating the minds of the people, you know, and they facilitated that in many ways. You know what I'm saying? A griot or griot or a grioti resemble that through the music. They did that through performance arts. You know what I'm saying? They demonstrated those things through entertainment. You know, so you know, I think we just need to figure out a way on how we able to capitalize on that, where we able to make what we doing is cool. It's cool to be an African. It's cool to be from Africa. It's cool to venerate your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to tap into your spirituality. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to unify with all black folks. It's cool to build up your black community instead of destroying your destroying your community, right? It's cool to heal our people. You know what I'm saying? So I hope, you know what I'm saying, before I leave here that we able to see that. So I appreciate that. You know, I really appreciate the message and the substance that the Vengeance, you know what I'm saying, have through their music. I got my 17-year-old son. I exposed him to the Gumbo album, then I exposed him to the Vengeance radio station, and I exposed him to your music. But I always taught my son to have knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, I just hope we able to expose, because it's cool, but it's even cooler when we connect with the children, and that's what we
Right.
should be pushing toward more, is toward the children instead of the grown folks. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people, we gripe about some of the artists that coming out. They our age, they still pushing pausing. You know what I'm saying? Lyrics, they still pushing pausing content. They pushing pause and visuals, you know what I'm saying, throughout the community, man. But our focus should be on connecting or figuring out how our music can connect with the youth. Damn, the people, you know what I'm saying, our age or older than us, you know what I'm saying. We need to figure out a
Right.
method on how to connect with the youth and how to make it appealing, how to make it, cool, so everybody can get, so everybody can change their mindsets, you know what I'm saying? As we saying, liberate their minds, you know what I'm saying? So we can push the culture
Yeah.
forward, you know. You got some.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. We got another honorary member of the Vengeance, which is Young Tahuti. You
Yeah,
feel
young
me?
Tahoe.
If
Oh,
you've ever seen and I'm saying this because you're saying connecting with the youth. Anray's son would be on stage with us every time we perform.
Mm-hmm.
word.
We often give him the mic so he could spit his verse as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So one way to stay connected with the youth is to involve the youth in what we do.
For sure.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
My sons are involved in what we do.
Yeah,
That's
Most
y'all
how we got to
listen.
definitely.
do
I
it.
was just wait. I
Yeah.
was waiting for you to hit that. Every one of them videos you seen, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Which you know what I mean, bringing that stream in. Tell him, Nubian.
All our videos are done and edited by my son.
Mm-hmm.
You
They
would
do
have
beats.
technical difficulties right here, right?
Yeah, I mean the what was the video we shot in
The first
pieces,
one,
and just the first one we
fall where
shot
they
we
may.
shot fall what they made. We shot that shit in pieces, and my son put everything together and made magic out of that.
Yeah,
He took
yeah,
everything, and I told him, I was like, "Yo, I shot a lot of this. It's shit. I tried to do what I thought you would do, but I don't know." And he made that shit look beautiful to
yes, he
me.
did.
I thought it was a yeah. He made me look good on that. He definitely
Yeah,
made me look good. But for all our videos, he everything editing all of that. He really came through. You know what I mean?
salute.
Yeah,
So
I think
we
that's big.
definitely keeping it in the family with the younger generation. Anray's son, my sons. You know what I mean? The God's stepson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
Kim Shaka. Shout out to
we're
Kim
on
Shaka.
that. We are definitely on that with the plug for the youth because that's basically what it's about.
And,
That's
and I
beautiful.
think we're at a point in time where, what I mean, they've been filled with fast food, and it's starting to make them sick. And the lane that we're in, you know what I'm saying? Like they're watching their artists and the people who they thought they looked up to being either killed or die off of because of drugs, you know what I'm saying? And they're not making it to where we've already made it to, and we're feeding them like we were fed when Public Enemy and X Clan came out and BDP came out, you know what I'm saying, and Brand Nubians came out and,
For
and, and Poor
righteous.
Righteous Teachers. You know what I'm saying? When they were coming out saying what they were saying, we're giving them that same kind of feeling that we got then at the time. The difference is we had to go look at the books and go to the lectures where they can just pull up the Google, and if they have a question
And
about
listen
a
to the
word
music.
or other, it's right there. What is this? So they getting it quicker or on real time. You know what I mean? And they seeing the video, they seeing something different. Ain't no booty shaking in the videos. We're not
None
doing
of
that.
that.
You know what I'm saying? We're not giving them what they think they want to hear. We're giving them the other side and letting them know this is liberation. I know you didn't even know that you was locked up, but let me let you know you are, and this is the way to your freedom. And what I mean, it made they watched, or at least they may have heard of our so-called leaders and people who came before us being assassinated, massacred, murdered. What I mean, they may hear that, but they don't think that anybody's here to push them or guide them. But that's exactly what we're here. We're not even here to be your leaders. We're here to be your guidance and
Mhm.
to show you. And so this new generation who is starting to click to them, they were kind of looking for, well, what do we do? And so when I talk to young folk about us and they see me in the streets, they'll be like, yo, that's the Vengeance. Yo, they on it. You know what I mean? Like, and so we give them inspiration to say, you don't have to die. You don't have to be out here killed. You can make it, you can live a life, and you can continue to do what it is that your purpose is because we didn't quit. You know what I mean? A lot of cats in this industry, they go with the industry aspect for the reasoning, but
Mhm.
not the art aspect for the purpose.
Mhm.
And we're dealing with the purpose here. So our reasonings, it doesn't, you know what I mean, it might change here, but the purpose stays the same. And we bring in
Exactly.
what is needed
Yeah.
and wanted. You know what I mean? So and
I
plus 9 Miles is a young cat too as well. So you know what I
yeah.
mean,
That's the
he's
other
in his
young guard, right? That
yeah,
came
yeah,
out to
yeah,
the
yeah.
shows when I flew. Okay, so we got
Yes,
the
sir.
young generation. The guard has already opened up the lane for a younger crew to come in and sit down at the Vengeance table. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
I want to be Avengers on this album.
Yeah,
Shout
and
out
You
to
know what I mean? So the
Najee
guard
Nadeem.
provided a way for the young guards to be in it as well. So they in here, son.
Yeah, yeah.
They in here. We in here. We every fucking where.
yeah,
Everywhere. We had all spots at
we
all times.
everywhere. Y'all never win.
Word up.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
everywhere.
That's one of my favorite songs too.
Mm.
We everywhere. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful, man, and I like
Hey,
what you.
yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
sir.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yo, speaking about the youth, man, I just want to say, man, first of all, we lost a young brother that we was, I mean, really involved with since the conscious costume party we did a couple years back. We
That's the
met him when
picture you threw up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was 16 years old
Oh,
when we met him. He made it to 21, and I just got the phone call the other day that he was killed. He was shot and killed, and he called me on a regular, and I was trying to get him out of the streets and the whole nine. He came to my house and stayed on two different occasions. Sun Da the Great was putting him in the studio and trying to give him a way to express himself artistically, and hopes that he would find a love for this music that would pull him out of the streets as well. And So I want to say that it's very important to us. You know, it's very important to us that we involve the youth. It's very
Word.
important to us that
Word.
we reach the youth, because there's an attack on the youth. You know what I mean? Our people as a collective is being attacked, but is an intentional attack directed to, like more viciously than anybody else in our community at the youth, because they are the future. So they are attacking them through music. Of course, we know we being attacked and poisoned through food, chemtrails. You can name all the above, but the music, you know what I'm saying, that they vibrate to. If it's low vibrational, they're going to vibrate on a
Word.
low frequency. If it's speaking hate and self destruction, promoting and praising, selling drugs to each other, killing each other, how many bodies you got, then they're going to think that that's cool. So that's why the vengeance was necessary, and that's why we do this for the love of the music. We do it for the love of our genre. You know what I mean? Because we doing something that we grew up loving. You know what I'm saying? Those who came for us, came before us, they made us love this stuff. We fell in love with hip hop from the moment we heard it. Or all of us at the ages that we are right now wouldn't be doing this. But
Facts. Truth.
but
Facts.
but we learned it as a kids and or as kids and as those youths that we were back then. Imagine if we was getting poisoned with the stuff they getting poisoned with today, how we would have turned out. So we have a obligation and a duty to give the people the right stuff, to give them music of upliftment, of liberation,
Facts.
of purpose. My music is music of purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
not about the Vengeance music. I believe I speak for the collective. The Vengeance music is music of purpose on so many
Truth.
fronts to attack what's attacking our people. We are the countermeasure. You know what I'm saying? We are
Yeah.
at war for our people against those who are warring against our people.
Facts. I mean, that's the purpose of the name Vengeance. Victorious, elevated Netches,
Nurtures
Jah's
God's
children.
children.
But
There you
we
go.
wasn't we wasn't looking to, you know what I mean, like we a superhero group, you know what I mean? And because that's what they look at it, but we ain't giving them, you mean, that company no glory. They stole it from us. They stole all their ideas from us. So we just snatching it back, but you know, me doing it in the way that we do it. You know what I mean? They had the Wizard of Oz, then they had the Wiz. If you watch both of them, you're gonna watch the Wiz over and over again. You know what I'm saying? It's got flavor. It's got sauce to it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got them other guys. I'm not even gonna mention their name, but it ain't us. You know what I mean? As in the Vengeance. We the superheroes that we understand. And when I say that, I mean supreme Heroes. That's what I mean. We are the supreme Heroes internally, each one of us by ourselves, but coming together. You know what I mean?
As a
We
collective, is
as a
crazy.
collective. I'm gonna say like this: we've been together putting music out for the last 4 years, right? Really, and been around. We've been at the last three Juneteenth situations. You know what I'm saying? Look at how the music has changed in the last 3, 4, maybe even 5 years. But look how it's changed recently. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying that we are the catalyst of it, but I'm saying we in that energy field and we was doing that before they did. And at the age that we're at, that they say we supposed to stop and quit, I done seen a lot of people who was sitting in the back, not doing music no more, jump right back in their lack and, you know what I mean, start putting out music. And that's what should happen. We should. How dare we cut off that lifeline to the youth and just say, go ahead and make whatever music you want and just get your money. How dare we do that? It they are fault. So we gonna come fix that. You know what I mean? Oh, you don't want to do it? We'll do it. That's what'll happen. We'll do it. And that's what we do. We ain't trying nothing. We doing it.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this because I don't want to talk too much. I know other people want to say something. I want to say rest in peace to Jeremiah, JC, as we knew him. You know what I'm
JC.
saying? Rest in peace, and may the ancestors guide
Salute.
you. May the ancestors guide you as you transition over into the spirit realm. And may your family, have peace, during this difficult time. You know what I'm saying? Soar in power, and I mean that fly high. New ancestor Jeremiah, and to the world out there, I'm speaking on behalf of the Avengers collectively for real when I say this. Y'all ain't heard shit yet. You know what I'm saying? We got songs
Fact.
that we got songs that we have not released. It's a bunch of them, and we got a bunch of stuff that we. It's a fire in us that's burning so 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 hot. It's crazy. Y'all don't even know how bad I'm itching to get back in the studio with my brothers and show the world what it is. So y'all better be
Man,
ready for
hit
the
the
gold and
stage,
the
goddamn it.
gold, the platinum, everything else that's coming next.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
doubt.
At stage, you're gonna see us on stage June 6th. June
Yep.
6th to the 8th in South Carolina, St. Helena Beach with Black Moses Freedom Festival, celebrating Queen Sister Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Gangster, a real gangster. You know,
Screw
Yeah.
that.
But
doing that.
I'm glad, man, that y'all are, working with working with the youth, and you use the word, son. You use the word, you guiding them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all guiding them. Y'all not leaders. And to be honest with everybody, the uh one man leader is dead. It's been gone.
Yes,
That's been
yes,
gone. So we're not looking for one person to be a leader anymore.
yeah,
We're grooming leaders. So I like how you use that, that word of guiding, you guiding the youth, man. So salute to y'all, man, for working with the youth and setting that, I and setting that, setting, the right example. That's what we all should be doing. So y'all setting the right example by showing the youth that, hey, there's another alternative than what they doing over here. Look over here. This is what you should be doing over here. Let me show you how to do this over here. Let me pull you in over here, and let me groom you over here. Let me teach you over here. Let me show you some things over here. And as I always say, once you get exposed to what we're saying, being conscious, which conscious only means being aware. It's no, once you learn what you learn, you can't unlearn that. You know what I'm saying? You can't unlearn that and pivot it back, man. So salute to y'all, man, for working with the youth, man. We're getting close to the end of the show, man. So looking ahead, what can the world expect next from the Vengeance in terms of music, message, movements, or collaboration? Any upcoming projects or events, which you just spoke of, one event that y'all got in South Carolina, um, events we should be looking out for.
That Gold
yeah.
album, like Amon said.
Yeah, yeah, and that gold album is gonna have some continental African a flavor to it, some Caribbean flavor to it. You know what I'm saying? To what I mean, not make sure that that's not excluded. That's us too. But like I said, June 6th, we're gonna be at South Carolina, St. Helena Beach. With that situation, we got the in August as well. We got some things in July too, but in August we got what is that? This Big Nell. Tell them about August.
Yeah, so it's a few things popping in August, man. VENJAH'S related. Um, we're gonna be at the RBG Music Festival.
I'll be there.
Uh, we're gonna be on the stage for that, and we're gonna be on the Marcus Garvey Day Festival. And really, we're gonna really make August like Black August. We're gonna make that the time when we just gonna rock out and push movements. One of the things we built in addition to the music is also the movement part. So uh, affiliated with Team RBG and some other organizations, we building like some street team folks, you know what I mean, to come out and help us not just promote the music that we doing, but promote other artists that we with other events, and eventually really start moving on a political fashion and start pushing some of the agenda, you know, grassroots style. You know what I'm saying? So we building that, and we building security. You know what I mean? So if you want to get down and learn how to train, learn how to protect your community, get some opportunity to do that, and make some money, then we gonna be providing that too. But in terms of music, we definitely building that, but we institution building as well, man, because That's important when it comes to movements, you know. So, building those institutions when it comes to the propaganda movement slash promotion, as well as security and the music, man. So, just pop out with us, man. Just come out, chop it up with us, and we'll give you more information on the grassroots level when it comes to some of that. Because right now, we not gonna keep everything too digital. Some of the stuff is gonna be digital, and you'll see it, but some of the stuff is more grassroots because we need to keep it kind of close to the chest because Black liberation is real talk. You know what I mean? And what happens too often, man, is people get on online and they show every move they're making. You know what I'm saying? Either showing every move they're making or they're talking about shit that they're not really finna do. And we're not gonna do either of that when it comes to VENJAH'S, you know what I'm saying? So that's August though. Black August is gonna be VENJAH'S for Black August. And we gonna take that momentum all the way into Kwanzaa season. But that's just a little piece, you know what I'm saying? If anybody else want to add on to that, go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be
Uh,
out there. I'll be out there for the RBG music festival out there. I'm coming out there because I'm gonna shoot a documentary out there. So I love to have y'all also as well as in the documentary, man. I'll be out there, man, with a few cameras and uh bring hopefully I'll be able to bring some other people out there to help me. My wife in particular. My wife usually move with me everywhere that I go, man. So I definitely will be out there, man, to support y'all, man, and in any way possible that I can, man. I'm coming out there to support, but I'm also coming out there to work. So if there's anything that the Avengers, need from me while I'm out there, man, I'm definitely willing to do it. And I need to kind of what how can I throw my how can I throw my production in the gold album? What I need to do to throw some of them
shoot.
beats in there.
That's a
Book some
son question right
shows.
there.
Book
Hey,
some
hey, listen.
shows, goddammit. Book
Yeah,
some
yeah,
shows.
yeah.
We
Hey,
trying to
listen.
perform, but at least,
Yeah,
man, look,
yeah.
some
And
shows.
I want to add, you mean anybody can have us come perform. If you are doing community work, we'll definitely work with you. But I mean, if you just want us to come perform, there is a ticket on that. But understand, you're gonna get your money's worth, and we're gonna promote it. We're gonna push it. We're gonna make sure that it's there. But you can reach us at vengeance@gmail.com. VENJAH'S@gmail.com. You got beats for us. You got music for us. VENJAH'S@gmail.com. Hit us there. Send that information there. You want to hear our music? We playing it as well as other people that we support that say the stuff that we listen to. Like I say on the show on Vengeance Radio .com, Vengeance Radio, VEN-JAHS radio.com. You punch it into Google, it'll come on up. You can listen to it 24/7. You got businesses, black businesses. We pushing and promoting that because that's part of it as well. Shout out
Facts.
to Team RBG because they put the Vengeance song on the gumbo. So Team RBG and the RBG gumbo, we're over that on that as solo artists. Which please, I want everybody to understand, we are solo artists first and foremost that came together to show a unified collective way in a time where everybody is battling, bite backing, and arguing with each other to the point where they're killing each other. We're showing you that unification, that Ubuntu. You know what I mean? Shout out to Rocka. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be on that Black State of Emergency. You know what I mean? And that shit is fire too, Rocka. We're doing that. But you want to get in touch with us, holler at us there. You know what I mean? You hit us in the email, we're going to do it. But you can also go to the music, vengeancebandcamp.com. Am I saying that right now? Did I
Yes.
say that right?
It's venjas.bandcamp.com. So it's
So,
BEN-JAHS .bandcamp.com. So BANDCAMP.com.
yeah,
Yeah, so
and
support with the music. Definitely download the music. That's gonna support us directly, and keep the moving popping.
right. Yeah, you'll see it. There you have it. You know what I mean? Right up there.
There you
It's
go.
there. Make sure you tag in, talk to us. You know what I'm saying? And Show us what you think of us. Give us the comments. Give us that movement. We need all of that on there. Let us know what it
Book
is.
us
But
for some shows and we'll show you what the fuck we do.
that part right there. And I'm gonna tell you like this, truthfully, anybody who hears this music, you know what I mean, similar to the RBG Gumbo, when you hear the music, right, you're gonna be like, oh, I missed this. You mean it's that nourishment, it's that thing that it's that full course meal that you've been missing all your life, or at least the last 20 years. We ain't
That's
forget about
right,
it.
goddammit.
We ain't forget about it. We give it to you properly. And you know what I'm saying? The shit that you hear us say, we mean that. We back that up in our actions in our life. You know what I'm saying? We've taken L's because of it, but we've gotten more W's, more meaningful W's also because of it. And that's what we
That's
want
right.
people to know and remember. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid of fighting the fight that you need to. We're doing it music wise, we're doing it community wise, we're doing it organization wise. You know what I'm saying? But we expand and intend on expanding to the point where we're gonna be like, you mean the Afro-centered aspect of what Rock Nation is. We're gonna have our hands in everything. We got radio, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be doing other businesses and we're gonna be dealing with other people in their businesses and partnering with them for land and all of that. Because that's what it is. And you know what I mean? So that we connect to the motherland, but we connect to the people here. And if you don't get to the motherland, if you get over there, we got somebody over there. If you here, we got somebody here. You know what I'm
Africa.
saying? Exactly. Like my brother Nubian said, I'm Africa, not I'm African. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people may hear that when they say that I'm African. No, no, no. We are Africa in all spots. You know what I'm saying? We all that mother, that mighty mitochondria run in us. You understand? Obafemi Zelu Oba, Dr. Oba Garvey is on the line. Shout out to him and Team RBG and the work that they do. I mean, and you know what I mean? This is part of that. We are extension of them, they're extension of us. That's how I know we just getting started. I've been telling people this for a second. We just getting started. There's so much more that we have to offer that we haven't even touched base. You got to understand, them first two was mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? Them first two was mixtapes. That last one is the album. But even in that, we got so many more albums. We got so many more topics, you know what I'm saying, to talk about. And shout out to OBFC.
Yes,
Shout out to them.
yes.
We're gonna be out there, you know what I mean, doing work with them. You see, wherever what if you've made a song with us, you on the squad too. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we're gonna keep expanding because we are, you know what I mean, interchangeable parts.
Hmm.
And if you got it, come on through. Come do this work with us. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Woo too. I forgot that. Shout out to the Woo because they have been an inspiration to us. You know what I mean? At least to me. And so,
Me
you
too.
mean,
It's that frequency. Yes, most
Yes,
it's
all
definitely.
of
that
us.
frequency.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We just ain't taking, anyhow, shout out to the Woo. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to what they do. You know what I mean?
All
But
right.
shit, what else? So we could do this for a long time, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Shit, what else we got? Oh, shout out to Mentu Sun. Mentu Sun did our shirt. You see me, you see Mike wearing one. We got these done like 3 years ago, and they still in pristine shape. They still working. You know what I mean? Direct the garments. So go to
Yeah,
Artifacts, get your clothing at Artifacts. If you what do you mean? They did this. Shout out to Mentu Sun, and you know we in the mix, man. We in the mix.
that's
I
right.
can't. I pardon everybody who was even mentioned in the thing. I ain't got my glasses on, so I couldn't see none of what anybody was saying. But
Hmm.
thank you all for tuning in. And yeah, yeah, and there you
For
go.
real.
All right.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
man, I definitely
Wait
appreciate
a
y'all.
minute, Kofi. Hold on, Kofi. Thank you, man. Yo, you doing
Thank
the
you.
job. I gotta say
Thank you,
this.
Kofi.
You are
Word up,
doing the
son.
job. You for y'all don't understand. This is what the 48th show, and you got Jakim coming on tomorrow, 49.
And
Yo, you can't miss it. You just had Stig Stigalo on. You
mhm.
mean you done basically ran to a lot of the cats coming on that gumbo, and so the work that you're doing is impressive. and is lightning. Shoot, we all ain't even been around, had this conversation with each other for at least the last 6 months. So, you know what I mean? This is that circle. This is what it looks like when you keep it in the community. You understand what I'm saying? You keep your dollar in
Word.
the community, let that circulate. And let that energy just keep that 360 degrees of energy, you know what I'm saying, of
Okay.
positive love. It just keep going around. And
Let
you know
that
what I mean?
shit Anray, goddammit.
Yeah, let that shit on,
Let it Anray.
Ray.
You know? Shit.
Yeah. Hey, Anray got projects out right now too, man. And Mike still got his album, which you can hear. You can hear parts of
Big
the album.
Nell got it. Yo, everybody got individual shit that's just fire. And
Fire,
then when
yeah.
we form Voltron, like the God said, it's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing, bro. I love my brothers. Salute everybody is the illest fucking MCs that I've come across in my lifetime, B. And I love them all and I respect everybody's pen.
Oh
Word
yeah,
up.
no doubt. Why everybody plugging their thing too. Also, I'm a publisher, so go Obi put appreciate that Obi. So if you
Yes,
look
sir.
at book published, go to same tree different brands publishing.com. And we'll fulfill all your needs. We a one-stop shop. We do print design, we do uh business logos, we do 3 lines of editing, we do the front cover, back cover, spine. We publish your books on all major print on demand companies, even though we advise you to sell your own intellectual property yourself. We do consulting work for us on the book size, far as the percentage size of each print on demand company. And we connect you with other book venues and et cetera, et cetera. So go to Same Tree Different Brands Publishing.com or go check out some of my numerous work that I have published as well. Go check out VENJAH'S radio. Check out my media company, Same Tree Different Branch Media. If you need a commercial for your businesses, I'm your man. If you need a documentary shot, I'm your man. Go check us out. But anyway, man. But again, I appreciate y'all
That the
again.
magazine. Don't forget the magazine out right now.
The magazine, the CLA magazine, just published my third edition of the CLA magazine. The Mathematics of Life is the name of that issue.
Okay, okay.
And we
Congratulations. God continue success on that.
appreciate it. We got the magazine comes out every other month. We have another edition comes out in June. And then we have the August edition for Black August. It'll be the front, the what we call the headline of the magazine always grace the front of the magazine cover. So Team RBG will be the feature of that magazine, the Black State of Emergency edition. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout, you know what I'm saying, for that edition as well in Black August, man. Again, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tuning in. I appreciate those who came, popped in, those who stayed the duration of the show. I
Yeah.
appreciate those who may tap into this later on. This also will be on Vengeance Radio. I appreciate Sun
Yes,
putting
sir.
all of the episodes on Vengeance Radio. So you also get to experience it on the radio later on. So shout out to Vengeance Radio for giving Warrior Scholar that look on a radio platform as well. So
Love
we
it.
we out of here, man, and man, we'll see.
Wait,
We'll be back.
shout shout out.
Go ahead.
Wait. Shout out to Zaid Malik as well, because he's gonna be down here for the RBG Fest, the main artist. Shout out to Zaid Malik. You know what I mean? He got new songs out, and Red Fidel got a new video out as well. And like I said, Anray got a whole album that be on
Whole
Vengeance
album
Radio.
out.
He got a whole
Yeah,
new album out of fire.
Fire.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I'm finna check out everybody. I'm gonna be hitting Anray up. I'm gonna be hitting Nubian Bear up. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh,
got
word? Okay, okay.
Big Nail be back next is it next Sunday? I think it's next. Let me see. Let me look on my calendar. Yeah,
I think we said next Sunday. Yeah, 420. We're gonna do it on 420. Yeah, we smoking, baby.
Oh,
It's gonna be
Oh,
hot, baby. It's
what?
gonna be hot, and it's gonna
Okay.
be dropping some motherfucking jewels. I'm a,
yeah,
I'm a,
yeah.
I'm working on a book myself too, so I really need to holler at you. I'm working on 2 books.
no doubt. Hey,
I'm working on an ebook and a hardcover, so we need to talk.
Yeah, no doubt. Hit me up, man. Hit me up. You got my number, man. So, and yeah, just tune in tomorrow. We'll be back with another team, RBG member, Jakim. If I'm Jakim, I think he be pissed, he be getting mad. I be turning his name wrong.
Jakim, just Kim.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hey,
Kim.
shout out to Jakim. Me, Jakim, and Sticklo got this Revolution song, Revolution Solution coming on the Black State of Emergency. Yeah. Exactly.
I like the name of that.
Yeah. Black State of Emergency, y'all. Black State of Emergency. He's following just from our Team RBG people. Team RBG. Black State of Emergency is following the gumbo, and we got that coming up. And VENJAH'S is definitely a part of that as a collective and as a solo group, solo artist. VENJAH'S.
Yeah, most definitely. And not only do we have the music, but we have the Black State of Emergency book. We have the Black State of Emergency featured on the magazine. And we have the Black State of Emergency coloring book also now. I just added the coloring.
Nice.
Good. So, you know, and because we have where we'll be discussing the Black State of Emergency on the new podcast, because we're talking about propaganda, right? So we're talking about proper propaganda. So we got to push proper propaganda on all fronts, right? So, you know, I'm excited about everything that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? But we out of here, man. We'll see y'all. I'm going to leave y'all with another song by the super group, the VENJAH'S, man. And we'll see y'all back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, man. Peace and Black African power. Zalud, race first, and we out.
Turn it up. Phones. It's my shit. Come on. There's a lead.
Yeah.
With a Tim Brown grin, I'm tougher than rhino skin. Rough enough to snuff the Leviathan. Speak the truth to lying men. I sizzle sin like the sun flares. Crack on them colonizer skin. Spark your heart in enlightenment. Revolt, recharge, back to grind again. Align your ship for the freedom, be the reason we begin to climb again. Up the spine till you find you divine again. Breathing region, we reaching the reason we leading. Most high energy and raising vibration, embracing my achievement. So I savor ancestor favor, even when I'm grieving. Vessel sender for VENJAH'S who render beyond believing. Knowing what we know and you accepting what you receiving. Never blind to misdeeds and food they feeding. You a glutton for destruction cause you're eating what they eating. Knowing you the main course of the evening. We integrate parts of your mind. You integrated with the hearts filled with slime. We innovate them stars hard to find. I rhyme through storms just to see the sunshine. I rhyme through storms just to see the sunshine. I rhyme through storms just to see the sunshine.
Bitch!
Like I'm Shango, play a convo from the mind of a god that pack arms commando. Retribution mando when I'm in man mode. Tell a colonizer let the land go. Free the land, but I'ma completely seize the land. Playing with guerrilla tactics, the man. And they stand aside cause they can't get peeled backwards. And this is gangster music for grassroots in black boots. I'm from the land of the blues for cash rules. And I don't fuck with crying next dudes that lack truths on how to stand with they fam like a man with man moves. And sneak dissing, I had you pissing in colostomy. The internet, they talking, but they do not want to box with me. I'm grinding so hard to get blisters and I'm proficient with the pistol. I'm repping their physical fitness, so it'll hurt you when I hit you. I'm elemental, control the earth and how the wind blew. Plus I'm a firebender, the guy Avengers with high intentions to ignite the fire within so we can rise again. We integrate parts of your mind. You integrated with the hearts filled with slime. We innovate them stars hard to find. I I rhyme through storms just to see the sunshine. I rhyme through storms just to see the sunshine. I rhyme through storms just to see the sunshine. On the night I was born and the sky was a storm, my life striking like lightning in the physical form. Rain poured for a while, I was pushed out the womb. Water broke on the Nile, flooded Kushite tombs. Thunder broke from the clouds and silenced the room. My udder exploded loud like dynamite, kaboom. Napoleon knocked the nose off the Sphinx so you wouldn't know it was me and wouldn't know what to think. Lied about the libraries, how books was burned, all the literature carried out, took and learned. Now all these Romans and Greeks is roaming the streets, claim my homeland that's belonging to me. And where you are, children of a lesser God, cursed by Ra, Allah will never bless you. I ride storms, birds born, swarms of deer turn unicorn. Day of judgment, you've been warned. Scope beyond my human form, looking in the sky, conducting the eclipse. Rastafari, Elijah, motherships. You ain't got to wonder why we came to clean up all the shit with that Sekhmet fire. Got your back, don't even trip. These miracles are magical. This alchemy imperial. These formulas are spiritual. Harmonizing all material. When everybody gets checked, a good heart gets respect. True foul gets tough love. Yup, we heal them to death. No weapon necessary. Seismic telepathy. Pure tones leave them stoned. Tablets of destiny. As above, so below. No podría por no ser rojo. My brother got that fofo. I'm a night sky, but he loco. Hardcore for the heavenly. Cosmic down to earth stuff. Give the hood good connection. Make them fuck around and learn stuff. We integrate parts of your mind. You integrated with the hearts filled with slime. We innovate them stars hard to find. I rhyme through storms just to see the sunshine. I rhyme through storms just to see the sunshine. I rhyme through storms just to see the sunshine.
Salute! Vengeance!
We everywhere. Nigga, we everywhere.
Man.